How was he lifted up? Moses went up there. The Caucasian was in terrible condition. Moses had to sleep in a ring of fire because, like animals are afraid of fire, they were afraid of fire. But Moses taught them about fire. Moses taught them how to bury their dead. Moses taught them how to build a home for themselves. Moses taught them the way of God and some of the forgotten technology so that they had truth and they had tricks so that they could go on to their destiny to rule until the coming of God. They have a statue of Moses in the Congressional Library. Moses, the great emancipator. They've kissed his toe until the toe had become, the metal had been worn off of it. They love Moses because without Moses, they would never have gotten up out of the cave. Moses had a job west. Moses had a job east. After he got them up, when you walking on all fours, and sometimes they tell you when you're real tired and you come home from a hard day, if you want to relax, get down on your all fours. That's not for you. White woman had no shape, all big in here. Cave woman was ugly. If she was Delilah back then, they would never have been able to trick Samson. Because she was ugly and she was funky. Damn, Moses had to teach them. Oh yeah, I'm not telling no lies now. They have come a long way, but don't you laugh. Don't you laugh because you're crawling around on your all fours like a dog today yourself. You are all out of shape and you're funky as hell. Don't tell me, just like they were done, they have done it also unto you. Moses had a hard time civilizing white people. He had to put a board in their back so they could stand upright. Because after you crawl around for 1,000 years, you're used to that, so they had to have a board. And every time he would look around, they'd snatch the board out. The board in the back also represents the law of God that will straighten you up from living a life of an animal. But every time Moses would turn his back, they would forsake the law. Because without the law, you fall down on a dead level and you become a serpent, you become a dragon, you become a beast. But when you obey God's law, He allows you to grow in uprightness and you can become a righteous person. Moses' law was a powerful law. That law was to last for 2,000 years until the coming of Jesus. But 1,700 years from Moses, a man named Nimrod was born. Nimrod was born on December the 25th. Nimrod was a wicked man. Had sex with his own mother. Nimrod was really something. And after Nimrod grew into power, Nimrod broke the law of Moses, meaning broke the strength of that law on the Caucasian people. So the board, which is the law, was taken out of their back. And when Jesus was born into the world, darkness was over the whole of that area. Wherever Europe was, it was in darkness. Palestine. You say, well, how did white people get into Palestine and Syria and Iraq and all those places that were the province of black people? How did that happen? See, they are shaped in the image and the likeness of God. We are the God that they're talking about. The original people. White people have our life, our form. Yes. They come from the original man. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that when they were cable-towed and put out into Europe, we rounded up all that we could find. We couldn't find them all. They were hidden in the homes of some of our people, and they grew up among us. And so the Bible says the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair-skinned. Yeah, well, fair means just. Fair means equitable. But in this case, fair means white. Because white people are known to be just and equitable. Because they're white. So if you're black, you're the opposite of fair and equitable. I mean, this is a symbolism. But the sons of God, black, saw the daughters of men, white, fair, and took them as wives, and race mixing began in the Holy Land. So you know what race mixing produces? Produces people my color, some of your color, some even lighter. Now you among the people, and then the conquerors start coming out of Europe down into these areas of the world, conquering, marrying, intermarrying, and so now the real black Egyptian is pushed out from southern Egypt. Southern Egypt is up north, to northern Egypt, which is really what we would call south. As they get closer to the Sudan, you see the real Egyptian called Nubians, real black. But in Cairo, it's a mixture. My color, lighter, some darker. You go to Syria, you see white Syrians, but you look close, you see some dark ones in there. You go to Palestine, you see white people in what they call Israel, and you see Semitic Jews, which are dark. Then you see the real black ones, who are the original people of that area. But wherever you find the black, they are under white rule. Whether it is in the Arab world, we're ruled by white Arabs. If we're in the Christian world, we're ruled by white Christians. If we're in the Jewish world, we're ruled by white Jews. If you're a communist, you're ruled by white communists. If you're a socialist, you're ruled by white socialists. If you're a doctor, you're ruled by white doctors. If you're a lawyer, you're ruled by white lawyers. You ain't ruled by nothing black, and even the God that you worship, you fashion him as a white man. So you have been made into something that hates your blackness. hates your people and is in love with the Caucasian.